Greetings, students, and welcome to Chapter Review for Chapter 1 of Michael Molloy's Experiencing the World's Religions, the 4th edition. And in this particular chapter, there is not a lot of material that's actually covered on the test. The one thing you will need to know is all of the isms, especially those that are indicated in the key terms at the end of the chapter. And most of the questions that pertain to this chapter are related to some word that begins with the word ism. It's a very well written chapter, a good introduction to the study of religion from an academic point of view, and also a good job that he does with describing the history of the study of religion in the last 2 centuries from an academic point of view. However, much of that stuff I really didn't think would be necessary for you to know, and so there will be no questions related to that. There are a couple other items I would like to bring to your attention that you might want to be sure to look at. And that is on page 13, there's reference to dualism. You would want to know about that. And also the different kinds of time that pertain to understanding worldviews within the scope of religion. There are a couple questions pertaining to the differences in time as they're perceived in various religions around the world. Another item that you will want to be sure to look at is the section on page 15, is the goddess worship still alive? Is goddess worship still alive? And there is, I believe, one question that comes out of that section there. So you will want to look those over, and while the rest of the chapter is quite interesting and well written from the perspective of an introductory piece, I didn't really think it was necessary to expect you to know all of the different scholars and what their contributions were. I studied all that stuff in college and grad school, but I'm not sure that for an introductory course that it's really necessary to really appreciate the world's religions to understand who all of these scholars were. If you want to do further study in the study of religion, especially world religions or comparative religions, then they're useful. But for now, make sure you know the isms and check on those other items that I mentioned, and I think you'll probably do quite well. Just a couple other things I would want to mention. I do have couple questions about sacred space in there, and also one question in there that I realized after the fact. I'm not sure it's covered either in Molloy directly or in my notes, and that has to do with the idea of the center of the universe question, and it has to do with a reference to a sacred tree of life. And where that comes from is the idea that often there would be in the middle of a community or a village, there would be some kind of pole or tree that would represent the center of the universe for that particular tribe or group, and they would center their lives around that. And so that could be an important aspect of their life together, a focal point. And I'm believing that if they put this representative part of the universe, center of the universe there, that it would, in that case for them, become the center of the universe for their own lives, and it would revolve around that. But for the most part, much of what I have said already is all you really need to know to prepare for the Chapter 1 section of the test.